हेलो फ्रेंड्स, यूट्यूब चैनल मूविंग रैबिट में आपका स्वागत है। इन टुडेज वीडियो वी विल डिस्कस द प्रोविजंस रिगार्डिंग रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शंस as per the amended SEBI listing regulations. So this is our first video on the provisions regarding related party transactions. As we know that SEBI in last 1 year or so has made quite a few amendments in SEBI listing regulations. One of those amendments was SEBI LODR third amendment regulations 2021 dated 3rd of August 2021. These amendments were effective from 1st of January 2022. And one of the changes regarding RPT was that in audit committee only independent directors shall approve the related party transactions. Since we have already covered these amendments in our earlier video, we will not discuss it in this video. Then the major amendments regarding RPT framework were brought in through SEBI LODR 6th Amendment Regulations 2021. These amendments were dated 9th of November 2021, and most of the amendments are effective from 1st of April 2022. However, quite a few changes have been made applicable going forward, precisely speaking from 1st of April 2023. So we believe that these amendments are paradigm shift as far as provisions or the framework regarding RPT is concerned. Why so, we will discuss in our subsequent slides. Then subsequently SEBI has brought out a circular dated 22nd November 2021, and this circular inter alia prescribed the information to be placed before the audit committee and for the shareholder while reviewing or approving the related party transactions. And apart from this, format of reporting to the stock exchanges has also been prescribed through this circular. So before we discuss what are the major amendments as far as RPT framework is concerned, I believe that these amendments are important not only from the perspective of the corporate professionals but also from the perspective of the practicing professionals. Why so? Because they have to conduct the audit in the companies, so they need to know what exactly these amendments are, so that they could be sure that these compliances have been completed by the company. So as we know, as far as related party transactions framework is concerned, there are two important factors to be decided. The first is who are the related parties, and second is what are the related party transactions. So SEBI has amended both these definitions as given in SEBI LODR. This definition, the definition of related party has been prescribed under Regulation 21ZB of SEBI LODR. As per the earlier, the existing provision, or let us say earlier provisions, related parties definition was related party as defined in section 2 subsection 76 of the Companies Act or under the applicable accounting standards. Apart from that, there was an additional requirement that any person or entity belonging to promoter or promoter group and holding 20% or more of the shareholding in the listed entity shall also be deemed to be a related party. So there were two conditions which were required to be met to be a related party as far as SEBI LODR is concerned, was that any person or entity, they were required to belong to promoter or promoter group, and they were also required to hold at least 20% of the shareholding in the listed entity. However, after the amendments, this aspect has been changed drastically. Why so? Because the threshold of having the shareholding by any person or any entity which belongs to promoter or promoter group has been simply done away. So now promoter, any person or any entity which belongs to promoter or promoter group, they are not required to meet any condition of having any shareholding in the company. They will simply be deemed as a related party. And the second aspect of holding shareholding has been covered separately, and it has been prescribed that any person or any entity which holds equity shares of 20% or more. So the shareholding has been specified to be as equity shareholding only, and the threshold has been prescribed 20% or more. This limit of 20% is going to be decreased to 10% from 1st of April 2023. Now this shareholding, and one more important thing is that this shareholding has to be directly or on a beneficial interest basis as given under section 89 of the Companies Act 2013. And also this shareholding has to be seen at any time during the immediate preceding financial year. So what it means, if some entity becomes a shareholder in a particular year. So in that year, that party should not be treated as a related party, because you have to see whether any party had any shareholding in the company at any time during the immediately preceding financial year. So by virtue of these amendments, the scope of related party, I mean the parties which will be related party as per the SEBI LODR, has been widened significantly. And persons or entity which are belonging to promoter or promoter groups need not to have any shareholding in the company to be a related party, plus any other person or entity, any person or any entity. So this is very wide open, means any person or any entity. And second thing is any person or any entity which holds equity shareholding beyond the threshold limit, irrespective of whether they are promoter or they are not, shall be treated as a related party. So these are very, very important amendments. Now let us have a look at the related definition of the related party transactions prescribed in Regulation 21ZC of SEBI LODR. The earlier major changes have been carried out regarding the transactions between which two parties shall be called as related party transactions, because now it has been prescribed that a listed entity or any of the transaction, I mean any of the transaction of a listed entity or any of the subsidiary at one hand, and related party of the listed entity or any of the subsidiary on the other hand. For example, if company A has a listed company A has a subsidiary called company B, and there is a company C which is a related party of company A, and company D which is related party of company B. So even there is a transaction between company B, that is the subsidiary company of company A, which is a listed company, and between company D, which is related party of subsidiary company, that is B, will even be called as related party transaction as far as company A is concerned. So by this amendment, the scope of related party transactions has been widened significantly to include the transactions even between the subsidiary and related party of the company or its subsidiary. From 1st April 2023, any transaction between the listed entity or its subsidiary at the one hand, and with any other person or any entity on the other hand, and if the purpose and effect of the transaction is to benefit a related party of a listed entity or any other subsidiary. So for example, if there is a transaction, in the earlier example, if we take that there is a transaction between company B, which is the subsidiary company of company A, and any other party, but the purpose and effect of this transaction is to benefit, say, either to company C or company D, will be covered as a related party transactions. However, this time SEBI has also done a good thing by virtue of providing some exemptions, that what all will not be a related party transaction. So first is the issue of specified securities on a preferential basis. So second point is the corporate actions by the listed entity which are uniformly applicable to all the stakeholders in proportion to their shareholding. And these corporate actions are payment of dividend, subdivision or consolidation of securities, issuance of security by way of right issue or a bonus issue, and the buyback of securities. And the next exception is acceptance of fixed deposit by the banks, non-banking financial companies at the terms which are uniformly applicable. So that's it from this video. We will have further videos on remaining provisions of amended related party transaction framework. If you have any question, you may post it, because we are planning to have a video on amended related party transaction framework. Thank you.